Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari O Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. So today will be, so please note that this lecture will be in English and not in Hindi. So we are reading from the second canto, 8th chapter, entitled Questions by Parikshit Maharaj, verse number 9. Ajasrijati bhutani Bhutatma yadanugraha Dadrisheyena tadrupam Nabhi padma samudbhava Ajasrijati bhutani Bhutatma yadanugraha Dadrisheyena tadrupam Nabhi padma samudbhava Ajasrijati bhutani Bhutatma yad anugrahat Dadrisheyena tadrupam Nabhi padma samudbhava Mataji's. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ajaha, one who is born without a material source. Sirjati, creates. Bhutani, all those materially born. Bhutatma, having a body of matter. Yat, whose. Anugrahat, by the mercy of. That drishe, could see. Yena, by whom. Tad rupam, his form of body. Nabhi, navel. Padma, lotus flower. Samudbhavaha, being born of. Translation and purport. Brahma, who was not born of a material source, but of the lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord, is the creator of all those who are materially born. Of course, by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to see the form of the Lord. Purport. The first living creature, Brahma, is called Ajaha, because he did not take his birth from the womb of a mother, materially born. He was directly born from the bodily expansion of the lotus flower of the Lord. Thus, it is not readily understandable whether the body of the Lord and that of Brahma are of the same quality or different. This must also be clearly understood. One thing is, however, certain. Brahma was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, because after his birth, he could create living beings by the Lord's grace only. And he could see the form of the Lord. Whether the form seen by Brahma is of the same quality as that of Brahma is a bewildering question. And Maharaj Parikshit wanted to get clear answers from Srila Shukdev Goswami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Teshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate giram Yat kripa tabaham vande Shri Gurundina Tarinam. Hare Krishna. So, before I begin, I'd like to seek the blessings of Senior Vaishnavas, Rajendra Singh Prabhu, and all the other devotees who are present here, so that whatever I may speak, it may be in the right mood, in the right spirit of pleasing the Lordships, giving happiness to your hearts, and may it be in parampara. Kindly please bless me. So, today is a very beautiful verse that we are seeing from the Srimad Bhagavatam, where Shukdev Goswami is telling Brahma, who was born out of a material source, who was not born of a material source but of a lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord, is the creator of all those who are material born. But Sri Prabhupada makes the Shukdev Goswami says something very important. But this was only possible by the grace of the Lord. It was only by the grace of the Lord was Brahma able to perform the task of creation. It was only by the grace of the Lord was Brahma able to see the form of the Lord. So, we will discuss one very important statement, which will be the basis of today's discussion, which Sri Prabhupada mentions in the purport. One thing is, however, certain. Brahma was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, because after his birth, he could create living beings by the Lord's grace only, and he could see the form of the Lord. So, this is the chapter which is entitled Questions by King Parikshit. So, we see that in our life also, Sri Prabhupada also writes, everyone is asking questions, right? And everyone is seeking answers. Even questions like in this world, we classify everything in three modes, right? Modes under goodness, passion, ignorance. Even questions can be classified in the three modes. So questions in the mode of ignorance, questions which are asked in the mood of challenge, and in the mood of testing one's ability. Let me see what this person can say. Let me see how good he is at his subject matter. Let me, with the intention of wanting to taunt, wanting to challenge the speaker. This could be questions which could be classified under the mode of ignorance. Questions which are in the mode of passion. Which the intention is to fulfill one's own personal agendas, one's own selfish needs. Those could be questions which can be classified under the mode of passion. But questions which are in the mode of goodness relate to questions which cater to one's own spiritual upliftment. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, more than questions about one's own upliftment, those questions are glorified which benefit everyone. Those questions asked with the intention of wanting to benefit mankind. And we see many instances, specifically two instances in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto, where Sutta Goswami is glorifying the questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya, where he is saying, Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbi loka mangalam yat krita Krishna samprashno yena atma suprasidati. Oh dear sages, your question is bhavadbir lokamangalam. Your questions are beneficial for everyone in this world, because your questions do not have the ability not only to satisfy everyone of this world, but to satisfy one's own self also. Those questions give that kind of joy. So congratulations. Thank you for asking such questions. We see Sutta Goswami glorifying the sages of Naimisharanya. We also see in the beginning of the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami is congratulating Parikshit Maharaj for the beautiful questions that he asked. Variyan eshate prashna krito loka hitam nripa atmavit samatha pumsa srotavyadisho yah para. Oh, again, your questions is for loka hita. It is for the welfare of mankind. And these questions are therefore very, very glorious. Anyone who hears those questions will be benefited. Shrotavyadishu yah paraha. So we see, these are the questions, these are the quality of questions which are being asked by Parikshit Maharaj. And therefore we see all these questions that are asked in this chapter by King Parikshit to Shukdev Goswami is not only benefiting him, but is also going to benefit all of us, which in turn will help us to advance in Krishna consciousness. So one very important thing that we see, which Srila Prabhupada is quoting here, that how was he completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, because of which he could create only by the Lord's grace. So, because Brahma is a topic of, is the subject matter of discussion in this particular verse, we will sing him in today's discussion. We'll try to bring in some points for personal application. So we see everybody, Brahma has here, Prabhupada has clearly mentioned that it was by Lord Brahma's grace. But how did he receive grace? How did he receive that mercy? In our lives also, sometimes we become recipients of mercy. But how do we get that mercy? That is very, very important. So we see, if we read the second and the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see in the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma, what did he do? What did he get? He got an instruction. He received an instruction, right? After receiving an instruction, what did he do? He followed the instruction very nicely. That is why he became a recipient of grace. And as a result of following the instruction very, very nicely, then he got mercy. So today we will see, I've divided this, particular class into 3 sections where, about how we receive instructions. We receive instructions, not only we only receive, but we follow them. And as a result of following those instructions very nicely, we become a recipient of mercy of the Supreme Lord. We become a recipient of the mercy of the Vaishnavas, which is all that is what we are yearning for, we are hankering for, we are wanting for, we are craving for. Is it not mercy? Right? So first, receiving instructions. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, when he's even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he's instructing Rupa Goswami, he talks about the first 5 out of the 64 limbs of devotional service. The first 5 limbs of the devotional service is pertaining to the spiritual master, where he says the first instruction is Ada Guru Bada Ashray. One should take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master first. Second one is Guru Seva. Second one is taking Diksha, taking initiation from the spiritual master. Third one is serving the Guru. The fourth one is Sad Dharma, Siksha and Pricha, where one receives instruction from the spiritual master and one inquires, right? And the fifth one is one must, not only he receives instructions, he makes inquiries, but the fifth one is Sadhu Marga Anugamanam, where he follows those instructions in the line of the previous acharyas and the previous and the spiritual masters. So we see how receiving instruction is a very, very important and it's a very important limb of devotional service. One of the non-compromisable limbs of devotional service, which comes in the first 5 itself. So receiving instructions is very, very, very important. And therefore, we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam the eagerness of various devotees to receive various instructions. And we see Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is very, very eager to receive instructions. And that we see at the end of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, where he says, kindly tell me, what is the duty of a dying man? What should he be hearing? What should he be doing? What should he be worshipping? What are the do's and what are the don'ts that need to be followed by a person who's
for all living entities in general, kindly please instruct me. Even in the, I'm just remembering, even in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudeva Maharaj, after the disappearance of Krishna, he is eagerly inquiring from Narad Muni. Before Narad Muni goes into the discourse of Maharaj Nimi and Navyogendras, where the instructions of Bhagavad Dharma are given, Vasudeva Maharaj is expressing his keen eagerness. Kindly please, this samsara is filled with so much of anxieties. It's a place full of danger. Kindly please tell me what are the ways by the virtue of which I can develop my love for the Supreme Lord. Now, this is the eagerness for receiving instruction. So therefore, also, do we wait for someone to instruct us? Because if you see, day in and day out, if we carefully analyze our lives, we are receiving instructions every single day. We receive instructions to the various devotees who come on the Vyasasan, who sit on the Vyasasan and deliver the Srimad Bhagavatam class. What does Krishna have to say to me today? What does he have to instruct to me today? So day in and day out, we are receiving instructions. Through the classes that we are hearing, we are receiving instructions from the Diksha Guru, from the Siksha Guru, in the form of the services that may be allotted. Kindly please do this service. So it's not that exclusively, like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. One disciple went to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Maharaj, kindly please give me personal instructions. Maharaj said, all my instructions are in my lectures. What more do you need? All the instructions are given. So all that we have to be very attentive, to capture those instructions only, and we will capture them only if you want to. Srila Prabhupada was very attentive. Srila Prabhupada, when distributing back to Godhead leaflets, it was in the form of those leaflets, papers. One person in the in the tapari, told him that why don't you publish it in the form of magazines? And that's what Srila Prabhupada took it. Oh, this person, my spiritual master is speaking through this person. So all that we have to do is be very, very attentive. In the Venu Geet, which I'm currently reading. So there, in the first verse of the Venu Geet, there's a very beautiful verse which talks about Ittham sharat swacha jalam padma kara sugandhina vayuna nyavishad vayuna vatam sago Gopal kachuta. So where a very beautiful description is given of Krishna, and Krishna coming into Vrindavan, where in Vrindavan, the breeze that is flowing, Nyavishad Vayuna Vatam, where the beautiful breeze, for the pleasure of Krishna, the various different fragrances of the flowers, it serves Krishna by entering into the nostrils of Krishna. So there, the Acharyas give a very beautiful commentary on this particular aspect. Oh, they're saying, just look at the breeze. The breeze in itself has no fragrance. The breeze in itself, the air or the wind itself does not have fragrance. But what does it do? It carries the fragrances of different flowers. And Vayuna Vatam. Vayuna, the Acharya explained there, Vayuna is a word, is a singular word. Vayu is plural. Vayuna is singular. So the indication or the meaning of this is that generally when we go out, we see different fragrances may mix with each other and enter our nostrils. But here the speciality of the breeze in Vrindavan is that in order to facilitate that Krishna gets the aroma, gets the fragrance of each and every flower, one fragrance is entering Krishna's nostril and giving pleasure to Krishna. So even our life, so one instruction that I was thinking of, that how important as a devotee is to facilitate the devotional service of others. I don't have any fragrance of my own. I just wanted to facilitate whatever skills, whatever talents that devotees have. I should bring them in the forefront and facilitate their service to Krishna. So this is one example of instruction from nature. And we see also the classical example of 24 gurus, right, in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, it's not that the spiritual master has to specifically come to you and tell you, oh, dear Yugal Kirtan Prabhu, this is an instruction for you. Or, whoever, Ashray Gopal Das, this is an instruction for you. You don't have to wait for a superior to tell you. Day in and day out, you're receiving instructions. We can receive instructions from nature. Trinadapi suni chena. Mahaprabhu's instruction through the tree. Developing tolerance. So all that we have to be is attentive to receiving instructions, because at every moment, every time, we are receiving so many instructions. All that we need to do is have the eagerness to wanting to follow them. We also see, Krishna. We see Arjuna. He also had that eagerness to receive instruction. Karpanya dosho pahata subhava prichhami tvam dharma samud cheta yasreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadi ma tvam prapanam. Where Arjuna is saying, kindly please instruct me. And Krishna refused to instruct till the point he came to this verse, where Arjuna was in the mood of receiving instructions. Only then Krishna instructed him the Bhagavad Gita. So that is what is very, very important. So first one is receiving instructions. Second one is following the instructions. Okay, you receive the instructions. Very nice. We should want to receive instructions, but important is following those instructions. And we see in the life of Brahma, he received instructions and he followed them very, very nicely. And while following instructions, definitely there will be obstacles that will come. And we will analyze and see one obstacle that Lord Brahma faced. Lord Brahma faced so many obstacles, because please understand one thing. Many a times we see, when we get success in a particular service or a success in particular endeavor, we normally say, oh, Krishna's mercy is on you. Definitely, that success is definitely a manifestation of Krishna's mercy. But many a times, even after working so hard, after endeavoring so hard, strategically planning few things, many a things, still success may not come. So the question is, was Krishna's mercy there? Or is it the success that is what brings mercy? We need to understand success lies in endeavoring. And during the course of doing that service, we will receive many realizations. We will receive, and the purification that happens through that service, that is also should be perceived as mercy of the Supreme Lord. As Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, we say, Karmanya eva adhikaraste. Oh, you have the right to do your service, your endeavor, your duty. That is what counts the most. Not only the success, which is definitely important, not barring that, but we see how while following service, the purification part will definitely take place. And that is what Lord Brahma faced. Performing this task of creation was not a joke. Or it was a thankless task. Because the kind of obstacles that he faced, the first obstacle that he faced, that Lord Brahma faced while performing the service, was a dissatisfaction. Why was he dissatisfied? Because Lord Brahma had to create ajnana vrittis. Now, what are the ajnana vrittis? The first ajnana vritti, the perception, a sense of self-deception. Self-deception he had to. The anger after frustration. The sense of false ownership. And he had to induce a forgetfulness of one's own identity in the living entity. And Brahma, at this point of time in creation, is thinking, why is such a thankless task given to me? Why have I given this task of implicating the jivas into this material world? Not only Brahma felt this service to be worthless, he felt it to be contradictory. He felt, why am I doing this? He felt this is totally in contradiction to what I desire for the jivas. Because Lord Brahma, being a pure devotee, he wants to facilitate their journey back to Godhead. But why is he being told to do this? So the Brahma was facing at this point of time utter dissatisfaction. So even times, many a times in our course of performing service, we may feel, oh, this service is so ridiculous. I feel totally underutilized. There's what, especially when services become on a daily routine, like for example, if you're asked to mop the floor or doing some menial service day in and every single day, you feel, is this what I joined the Brahmachari ashram for? I'm supposed to perform menial services like this every single day. One may question one's own existence. Why am I here? Who am I? So this can happen many a times. So therefore, Brahma also faced it. Many a times. So therefore, instructions could be very, very contradictory. Like, Gaurang Prabhu many a times would say, oh, we cannot understand Maharaj. And Maharaj would emphasize, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj would emphasize, the creation of, I want to build Govardhan Eco Village. For Gaurang Prabhu, he said, went and confronted Maharaj, told that, Maharaj, we are city people. We can preach in the cities. Why are you sending us to villages? Especially, there came a time in Chowpatty where Maharaj in 2003 instructed, no, we should have dioramas. Not only one, there should be 2 dioramas. And Gaurang Prabhu could not understand why. Why 2 dioramas? At that point of time, there's no space in the Chowpatty temple. Where do we keep them? So there was this particular person who was very instrumental in carving the first deities of Srila Prabhupada in the presence of Srila Prabhupada. So this person's name was Milan Bagh. And he was personally approved by Srila Prabhupada to carve deities for Srila Prabhupada and the Panchatattva Archa Vigraha, the small deities that we see in Mayapur. So Maharaj happened to meet him and he told Gaurang Prabhu that you need to get him. For our Chowpatty dioramas, he will make the dioramas. So this particular devotee, he came because he had developed a very deep fondness for Prabhupada. He came and he built the dioramas. But at that point of time, the construction in Chowpatty was disturbing everyone. That time Maharaj had gone to the US. And co-jointly, all the top people in Chowpatty met and thought that Maharaj has made one diorama, that is sufficient. One diorama is made, that is sufficient. And they sent Milan Bagh away. And Maharaj came from US and asked, where is the other diorama? I asked for 2. Maharaj, we sent him away. Why did you send him away? Bring him, find him and bring him back today itself. And Gaurang Prabhu, oh, where do we find him now? Where is he gone? And they knew very well that he was in Mumbai itself. And Sanat Kumar Prabhu and Gaurang Prabhu went, finding for this devotee, for this person, Milan Bagh. And Sanat Kumar Prabhu thought, where at this point of time, can Milan Bagh be there? Wherever there is construction site. And especially, even though he was a Muslim, he was very, very much inclined to performing service for temples. So they tried to find out the details of all the temples that are being currently constructed. And they found that a Jain temple is being constructed in Mumbai. And they went there, and to their surprise, they found Milan Bagh there. And and Gaurang Prabhu said, our Guru Maharaj is calling you back. And because he had a favorable disposition and inclination towards ISKCON, especially ISKCON's Prasad, he said, yes, I will come back, there. And Milan Bagh came and he constructed the dioramas there for Gaurang Prabhu and for Maharaj. So you cannot understand the mercy, the instruction of the spiritual master. But when we follow it, then we become a recipient of mercy. So first is dissatisfaction that Brahma faced. Second, he faced the first D. There are 5 Ds. So the first D was dissatisfaction. The second D that he faced, the second obstacle he faced while trying to follow the instructions was disobedience. When, disobedience, he created the 4 Kumaras. And when Brahma's instruction was, kindly please assist me in my creation. In creation. But the first thing that Brahma faced was defiance. No. We want to remain Naishtiki Brahmacharis throughout life. We don't want to indulge into all this. And this was a cause of, such despondency. Hare, I've created the Chatushkumaras, for the purpose of assisting me in creation, but they're disobeying me. So this was the biggest obstacle, the biggest frustration. But the beauty of Lord Brahma, this frustration he turned into a blessing. And Brahma, he empowered Chatushkumaras to become Vaishnava Sampradaya Acharyas. There's an entire Sampradaya which begins from Chatushkumaras, the Chatushkumara Sampradaya. And he engaged them in, traveling around the universe and placing and purifying the places of sins, as well as giving enlightenment to everyone. So you see, this is a very, very important lesson that we can learn for, a leadership lesson, where how the challenge that a leader faces, where he has to deal with subordinates, he has to engage subordinates according to their psychophysical natures. That is an expert leader, and that what we see in Lord Brahma. That is why, see, it's these obstacles that he underwent. We can understand how sincere Lord Brahma was. So the second one is disobedience. The third one is a disturbance. Lord Brahma, not only was he dissatisfied because of the task that he was performing, not only did he face disobedience from his first created beings, the Chatushkumaras, but he faced disturbance. As a result of the defiance by the Chatushkumaras, he controlled his anger, Lord Brahma, but that anger manifested in the form of Rudra. And that was the biggest disturbance. Rudra was supposed to assist Brahma in the creation, but what was he doing? All that Brahma was creating, he was only creating havoc. That's all he was doing. Such disturbance. And then Lord Brahma told Lord Shiva, you kindly please go and do tapasya. Do penance. Perform tapasya. And whenever I call you for service at the time of dissolution, that time you come. You perform your tandav, and then you can destroy everything. And that is the need at that point of time. So therefore, many a times we may face disturbances, and especially, in the course of preaching. Oh my God, the kind of challenges and difficulties. Because preaching is something where there are so many uncertainties followed. There are so many uncertainties. But just imagine if everything went smoothly, we would become intoxicated by pride. And we would, that controllership mentality, that doership mentality, all the success that I'm getting, it's because of me. So sometimes Krishna in our life, he creates that sort of disturbance so that we can stop. We can think and take shelter of Krishna. It's not me who is in control, but it is ultimately Krishna who is in control. So therefore, Brahma, in his course of creating, he faced disturbance. And not only did he get disturbed, he faced disturbance, he also faced distraction. What was the distraction? In the form of Vak. When he created Vak, he himself became distracted by her. But, because of the good guidance, the good guidance of his sons, he came back to his senses. So therefore, it is very, very important in our course of service, we may also face certain distractions. We may also face certain obstacles which can impede our service to our spiritual master, right? But we have to be careful. And therefore, it is important, just like by the good guidance of Lord Brahma's son, he was brought back to his senses and gave up that enjoying mentality. We also should be surrounded with association of devotees. Very, very important, and we should, sometimes it could be, that means, should I have someone who's always looking over me? Yes, we should want that, where someone is always supervising me, always vigilant over what I am doing. That is a trouble, a so-called trouble that we should welcome in our lives. So therefore, that was a distraction. So, and the fifth D is deficiency. So he felt deficient because after surpassing all these obstacles, he still felt a sense of despondency, discouragement, deficiency. Things are not going as expected. Even after creating the Vedas, after creating music, after creating the alphabets, still, he felt a kind of deficiency in his service. So therefore, we see Prabhupada is writing by the grace of the Supreme Lord. But how did Brahma receive that grace? By following the instruction sincerely. And in the course of those instructions, there were so many obstacles. So please, dear devotees, ensure that in your service also, there will be obstacles. Just like the way Lord Brahma faced so many obstacles, but we should be determined. We should not be discouraged. So these are the, the deadly D's, which, come, in our determination when we want to practice spiritual life. So what was the first D that Brahma faced? Dissatisfaction. The second one? Disobedience by the Chatush Kumaras. Third one? Disturbance. By whom? Rudra. Fourth one was distraction in the form of Vak. And the fifth one was deficiency. That, so following instructions is not easy, right? But when we do that sincerely, then we become a recipient of mercy from the spiritual master. And therefore, the last aspect of today's discussion is, when we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, we become a recipient of mercy. So mercy. So I just made an acronym, here, an acronym and an offering to all of you. So which will help us to kind of encapsulate this class, because I challenged one devotee that will finish the class on time. So I'm a race against time. 7:40. So first one, why should we follow the instructions of the spiritual master? Mercy. M. When we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, the mercy of the spiritual master manifests in the form of more instructions. M. It manifests in the form of more instructions, and we see in the life of Brahma, the first instruction he got was the pa. But was that enough? Was that it? No. The second set, after performing the tapasya, after performing their austerity, the second set of instructions came in the form of Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Aha. So beautiful instructions. And Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu ensured Brahma, when you follow what I have told you now in the form of the seed verses of Chatushloki, then you will never become bewildered in life. That was M. Second one, when we have followed the instructions of spiritual master, we become empowered to do further tasks for the Supreme Lord. And we see how Lord Brahma was empowered. Even to that extent, Garbhodaksha Vishnu tells the very fact that he could offer such wonderful prayers is just because of my empowerment. So the ability to pray, the ability to perform, Herculean tasks, in the service of the spiritual master, becomes possible. We become empowered when we start following the instructions of the spiritual master very, very sincerely. And we see in the case of Lord Brahma. Third is R. When we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, we are gifted with realizations. And in the case of Brahma, what was the realization that he got? Prabhupada mentions in the purport. What was he able to see? Realization of Nama Guna Rupa. He was able to see the form of the Lord. Is it not? He was able to see the form of the Lord. Not only was he able to see the form of the Lord, he was able to have Vaikuntha Darshan. Oh, that was a realization that Brahma got. Initially, when Brahma was there, he went up and down the lotus stem. He could not find anything. All that he could find was darkness. But after performing tapasya, after getting instruction, after following the instruction, that is what resulted mercy in the form of getting darshan of the Lord in the form of Vaikuntha and the beautiful form of the Lord. So this is the realization. C. When you follow the instruction of the spiritual master, the connection deepens. The bonding between the disciple and the spiritual master deepens. Just think about all Srila Prabhupada disciples who have sacrificed the lives of Srila Prabhupada. If it wasn't for the deep connection that disciples of Srila Prabhupada felt, if it wasn't for the deep connection, would Tamal Krishna Maharaj, jump out from the balcony when Prabhupada demanded, please give me, I want Ganges water? Would Ladini Mataji, risk her life going to such a downtrodden, war-torn country like Africa and get herself killed preaching such a country? Would they do? Would Yamuna Mataji be ready to jump off the train, to cook a bowl of rice for Prabhupada? Now, would Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj go in Russia and risk his life distributing books of Srila Prabhupada? This was not possible until and unless there was a deep sense of connection, And that connection is further strengthened when you follow the instructions of the spiritual master very, very nicely. And as a result of doing all this, MERC, then the spiritual master gifts you. Mercy comes in the form of yearning, in the form of craving. For whom? For Krishna. And that is perfectly exemplified in the Shikshashtakam. Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgadha ruddhaya gira. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying, he's crying, when will the day come when there will be tears in my eyes, when my hairs will stand on ends? Kabe habe bolo se dina amar aparadha guchi shudana meruchi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, that yearning, when will the day be mine when I will be able to chant pure holy name? When will the day be mine when I will be rid of all offenses? So therefore, this is the gift that is given when we are following the instruction of the spiritual master. That yearning is created. He Radhe Vraja Devike Lalite Nanda Shuno Kutaha. When that yearning is created within the heart. So when that happens, then we will feel the Govinda want, right? We will want to. When we follow the instructions, then we'll hanker. When will I once again take darshan of the Lord? It is 4:30. It's time for morning program. When will I come in the association of devotees and chant? That automatically that yearning is created. Now I'm looking. Now it's a time for my sadhana. Time to come together in association of devotees and hear a class. So we will no longer feel that as a burden, but we will feel this. It is such a pleasure to do this, and I want to do it. It's not that I'm supposed to do it because it is a part of my quota. It is part of the routine that I have been put into. That's why I have to do it. No, there'll be yearning. I look forward to it. I want to do it. So this is the mercy that we will all receive, and that also we see in the example of Lord Brahma. So just a quick summary. So the last part, mercy, M stands for more instructions. E stands for empowerment. R stands for realization. C stands for connection. And ultimately Y stands for yearning. So when we do this, then we receive the mercy of the spiritual master. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.